Ladies and gentlemen, today is time for us to have, honestly, a bit of a difficult conversation. And I just want to say up front that the goal of this conversation is to not necessarily be pinning any blame on CCs, trying to call out CCs, anything like that, but more so focus on how I think content creators, specifically for Wuthering Waves, are actually getting screwed over by the actions of Curo Games or a third party. And this is the situation over here. I think I already know what the actual answer to the situation is and who's doing it. Let me describe it to you. So, as we all know, Curo does a thing where they sponsor certain content creators to make videos on their games. And one thing that they additionally do on top of that is actually take specific creators who they'd like to give some additional support and actually just artificially view their viewership. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I said it. It's either view botted or promoted or through some sort of means, there is an artificial fake, not actually real boost to their viewership. I'm not gonna say how it's done. I'm not gonna say who necessarily did it. But one thing that I'm frankly confident about is that CCs are probably not the ones doing it to themselves, because it'll be pretty clear when the instances of it are occurring. So I've made sure to actually do my research and look at some of the profiles of some prominent and lesser known Wuthering Waves creators. One creator that is sponsored for both Hoyo and Curo Games is Xlice. Going on to the high end, right? When it comes to kind of like age, tenure, subscriber count, 470k. Another creator though is It's Senpai. And you're gonna see over here, this guy's only got 20k subscribers. And so It's Senpai is gonna be the easiest person to be able to identify what's going on here. So you can see, when you look at the views across this entire channel, there seems to be a good level of consistency, right? But then also 2 videos every couple of uploads that seem to really pop off, right? 5.7, 8.2, 5.8, and then 446, right? And then 58. And you'll notice, then we go on a bit of a break. We kind of have some lower viewership numbers, right? But then we spike back up again for this 87k, 118. Then we level out again, and then 2 more beefy uploads. And this is what is obviously going on. When you decide to go in and click in on this video, this is what you'll see. 46k views and 520 likes. If you know how YouTube like ratios, guides, all of that work, that's not a valid ratio. This is what my like ratio looks like in advance. 42k views, 2.2k likes. I don't want to be out here pushing forward the claim that I am 4 times as likable as It's Senpai. I don't think I'm 4 times as likable as he is. That just sounds like a weird metric. What's pretty clear though is that this is not an appropriate number of likes for a video with this many views. And this traditionally only happens in a YouTube video when it gets pushed or promoted via some sort of third-party methodology. And this is something that's really dangerous to YouTube channels for one specific reason. It creates irregularity in what the algorithm is supposed to expect for a channel of your size with a viewership of your size. Here's another video, 58k, 860 likes. When you have these breakout videos like this, the YouTube algorithm is going to assume that these viewers are real. And then for future uploads, try to send out those notifications to viewers that don't actually exist. And the end result is that your future uploads end up getting griefed every single time they're artificially promoted like this. And channels that have had this done to them numerous times or are still accepting them are essentially putting a pin on their growth. Because every single time you get to a point, right, where you feel like you're naturally sustaining your channel, growing it organically, you'll have like this steroid injection of fake viewers that will take you right off the tracks. And this is the thing, guys. I'm speaking about this from personal experience because I've had that happen to mine, where I've had videos that got pushed either as promotions and basically got an increased viewer count for some reasons. But this is the thing. This was actually a legitimate promotion, because this video was played as an ad And when that occurs, right, and feedback is given on the ad, it actually reflects on the actual video. That's why there's 4K likes on this one, right? That's why there's 4K likes. Your videos, CCs, in these circumstances where the like numbers are this low, your videos aren't even getting pushed in like the legit way. They're literally getting pushed through some shady third-party methods. Literally. Otherwise, they would even have more likes if they were being done via the YouTube way. And I've already told you, the amount of damage it can do when it's actually a proper promotion. Imagine the damage it'll do to a channel when it's an illegitimate, not actually verified way of promoting. And so that's just one creator, right? A smaller creator who's actually at more risk of getting screwed over and having their channel derailed. That's what it looks like for one creator. Now you're gonna have the other. Now we got Xlice. Take a look at this Lene video. 1.1K likes with 67K views. I have 2/3 of those likes, or 2/3 of those views with double the likes. So I don't know if this means that I'm like 5 times as likable as Xlice. I feel like that's not necessarily true. I don't think I'm 5 times as likable as Xlice. Maybe that's actually the case, or his video's probably getting view botted. Right? And this one, maybe it doesn't look that suspicious to you. What about this? A 112K Chisa guide that got under 1,000 likes. And then my 50K gets double that. I don't necessarily know, right? Maybe Xlice, people just don't like his videos, right? Maybe people just don't like his videos ever. And that's why the numbers are this low. Or the same exact thing that's happening because we have all of these markers down here. Wuthering Waves, Wuwa, Xlice, Chisa, Wuwa Creator, Project Wave. Maybe because those seem to be consistent across them. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the Wuwa Creator tag is what Kuro utilizes. Maybe this is a Project Waves exclusive thing. And so maybe if you're in Project Waves, you can also get yourself view botted as well. Whatever it is, all I'm gonna say is there's some kind of shady stuff going on in the background. And if you're a content creator or if you're a viewer who's concerned for your CC's livelihood and success, maybe you have them be aware of the amount of damage that promotions like this can do to your channel. Because one thing YouTube hates is fake results. And if you are a person who is ever caught by the system faking your views and in turn faking advertisers, lying to them, blah, 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 to secure whatever, they punish your channel heavily. And when you can see that this sort of conduct has been going on across these channels for a very long time, I'm gonna be honest. Now I'm starting to see, like, you know, these 5Ks. Guys, it's really calling into question the amount of work that these guys have been, like, the previous work that these guys have put into their videos.
The version 2.6 special broadcast.
Because this one over here, this one looks like it could be legit. But now I don't know if this one was legit or not because of the recent crazy developments that we've been seeing. And that's the part that sucks. Because now I don't know what these CCs have sort of like organically been able to grow and organically been able to maintain versus faked results that are ultimately going to hurt the person's channel. And I'm going to be real here. More of you guys need to start putting a stop to this before it kicks into full swing. Otherwise, your channels may get to the point where they never actually recover. So yeah, that'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of a tricky topic, but I also wanted to make sure that we were giving, right, as well-rounded of a view as possible. Because once again, I don't think it's the CC's fault at all, but the risk in this circumstance and the person that gets the fallout and all the consequences, it's the CC alone. They are the person that's putting everything on the table to allow this stuff to actually take place. And the worst thing is, it could be happening without their knowledge. I think that's a lot when they're the one that's gonna receive all the punishment. So yeah, that'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.